So we're talking NFC West. Let's start with defensive tackles on the inside, and we're going to rank them 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
I'm going to list the 2 starters or projected starters, the 2 main backups, or 3 main backups if they've got a lot of depth, and then kind of some younger developing players. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. Then we're going to go through and we're going to pick these guys apart, and hopefully we just get a really good conversation going. So let's go in alphabetical order as we get to know these teams. And so I'll introduce a team and I'll go through their depth chart. Wayne, give just a couple remarks about the team, what he feels about them. We'll move on to the next one. Then we'll rank them. Okay, so let's start with the Arizona Cardinals. Really bad team in the NFL, but they had a lot of young players. They still got a lot of young players. So defensive tackles, they're 2 starters, not big name guys, Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols, but they got a lot of good backups. Dante Stills, Ray Lopez, Ben Steele, all young guys, and 2 more younger guys that are kind of developing, Phil Hoskins and Kairos Tonga. Now, if you're listening to this, you're like, I don't know any of these names. It's because they're all 5th, 6th, 7th round draft picks from the past year and undrafted free agents that have been forced to play because they kind of cut everybody. So what are your initial thoughts about this Cardinals defensive tackle group, Wayne?
Yeah, not I'm not going to say they're not good, but they're still particularly unknown, right? I do like Dante Stills from Pittsburgh. I mean, I was high on him, I believe, when he came out in the draft.
Niners were too. They met with him like 3 times.
Bro, I'm super high on him. Will he be able to take that, starter, reign? I don't know. That's to be seen. Because Justin Jones was the free agent that they got from Chicago. So they did kind of bolster up a little bit there. But like you said, these other guys are pretty much undetected and unknown. So we're going to have to just kind of like wait and see. But to me, this is just not a group of guys that I feel like are going to give teams that much trouble. You know what I'm saying? They could be great, but just on paper, just to see what they can do, I don't see much coming from the interior. But they did get, we'll talk about the exterior in a little bit, but they did, it's not even mid. I don't see these guys developed enough yet for me. That's just me.
Yeah.
They did bring in some free agents, but we'll see what happens.
They got a ways to go. Now we move on to the Rams, and you got to talk defensive tackles. There's no Aaron Donald. He's gone. Now, Kobe Turner, that dude, defensive rookie of the year type dude, he absolutely stepped up. Him and Bobby Brown the third. Bobby Brown, my prerogative. Oh, that was I used to rock that thing all the time. You remember the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack?
Heck yeah.
Oh, man. Y'all didn't know we were going to be talking. When Wayne and I get together, we talk movies, we talk video games and music. That's what we do.
That was our life growing up.
Oh, it was. Now, they drafted Braden Fisk in the 2nd round, second round. He could be a starter. We'll see how that goes. They got Laurel Murchison, who's got a lot of snaps for him last year, and Corey Durden. They got depth. They drafted Tyler Davis in the 6th round. They've got youth at this defensive tackle spot. What do you think, Wayne?
Again, another underdeveloped new players, but they did bring in some really key pieces in the draft, right? Like I think they drafted some guys. They addressed the defensive tackle position. They addressed the edge for sure. With Braden Fisk, will he line up and play inside? I think they run a 3-4 out there. In LA. So he would be one of the ends for them. I think I like the Braden Fisk guy because he's going to give them a great motor. But when you look at some of the Kobe Turners, the Bobby Brown the third, I think they're better than the Arizona Cardinals up front. I'll say that, but I still think they have a little ways to go. And losing Aaron Donald, I mean, Aaron Donald here would have still made them damn near top tier, right? Number 1, but they no longer have him. So at this point, I think they're just right above the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, and it's, so much potential because you're talking Kobe Turner. He could be a top 5 defensive tackle if he does what he did again last year. Braden Fisk in the 2nd round. Tyler Davis. There's young and it is potential. But what's this going to look like when you're not playing opposite Aaron Donald?
There you go. I knew you was going to come up with a new show. That's a new show. What is it going to look like with Aaron Donald not out there? So we'll find out.
I like that. Now let's go to the 49ers. Huge turnover in the defensive tackle room. Hargrave and Collins, Malik Collins, those are your starters. Kevin Givens, who's one of the longest tenured 49ers. People don't talk about this dude enough. Like, he's been with the Niners for 6 years straight.
Straight.
I mean, shout out to
Undrafted guy?
Kevin Givens, man.
Drafted guy. He
Yes.
was drafted. He was drafted, right?
No,
Yeah.
undrafted.
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 Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
man. This
incredible.
and they keep him. They keep bringing him back, and he keeps re-signing with the Niners like every time. He re-signed this year as a free agent. When you look at the Niners, though, they did add some pieces. They did lose a big piece. They lost Eric Armstead, so let's not act like we didn't lose somebody that was great. But we still have a lot of players. I feel like we have more depth as far as veterans as with the depth here. I still want to see what Kalia Davis is going to be able to do. I want to see what Evan Anderson, the undrafted guy, if he makes the team. But I'm expecting a big year from Javon Hargrave. I'm expecting big turnout from Malik Collins. That was the guy we traded for from Houston. I think your interior and stopping the run to me got a little bit better, right? I felt like that was the focus. They were giving up too much rushing yards or too many rushing yards inside opposed to what they were kicking out to go to the outside. So I think right now I have them number one, and I'm not saying that because they're the Niners, but these are veterans we're talking about, opposed to a bunch of young guys, right? T.Y. McGill, veteran. Shaquille Brown, veteran, right? These are some veteran dudes that they got up front in the interior. Kevin Givens, veteran. Jordan Elliott, veteran. Like, these aren't just rookies that they have out there or second-year players out there.
Yeah, and, you do have, I think Evan Anderson is one of my dark horses, the
Me too,
undrafted
John.
free agent. They paid a lot of money. If you look at the group of defensive tackles outside of your starters, you don't have that huge run stuffer plugger. You don't have that. Kevin Givens, small. Jordan Elliott, small. Kalia Davis, small.
Good point.
Evan Anderson, big dude.
Big. Nose tackle-ish kind of guy.
Yeah. So that's the 49ers. In the last group, let's go to the Seattle Seahawks. Their starters, Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed. They spent their first round pick on Byron Murphy. Is he going to be a starter? What that's going to look like probably before it's all said and done. Draymond Jones, Jonathan Hankins, their backups, Mike Morris, Cameron Young, Miles Adams. This group is pretty stellar. The Seattle Seahawks defensive tackle group, their edges are awful. Their tackles, but this is what happens with the new head coach. What are your thoughts on Seattle's defensive tackles?
I mean, first you got to start with the head coach and the defensive mind that they're bringing in from Baltimore, right? And so I think that's what they're looking to do. Start up front. They didn't have a bunch of draft picks, but I think the picks that they utilize. I mean, getting Byron Murphy the second from Texas, that's your guy. I mean, you know about him. He's going to be a problem whether he starts or not. That rotation is going to be thick and long. I really think they have the best up front defensive line in the NFC West. And I think it can cause problems. I think it's going to cause problems. They got Mike Morris there, Jaron Reed, Jonathan Hankins, free agent they got from Dallas. Look, I'm looking at them. I'm like, they could be a problem. And so I like Seattle's front a lot. I think I have them. If I had to rank them, they might be my number one right now.
Yeah, they're pretty freaking stellar. So, okay, let's do this. What's your top three? We've listed to pretty much everybody. Who are your top three defensive tackles out of this entire division if you had to rank them, Wayne?
This.
Who are the three guys, regardless of team, that you're 1, 2, 3? Where do you put them?
This makes this weird because is Leonard Williams an end or a tackle? Because it's weird.
If you don't blitz off the edge, here's my philosophy and how I do the draft and all that stuff. If you don't go outside of the tackle, you're an edge. Like, you're a tackle. You're a defensive tackle or an edge. And I know 3-4, 4-3, blah, blah, blah. If you don't blitz outside the tackle, you're a defensive tackle, interior defensive line to me. So I put Leonard in the interior.
Okay, so he's number one. Okay,
Same.
Okay, he's number one. I go in Javon Hargrave number 2 though, and so
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
All right, and then trying to
3 is tough. 3 is tough. There's a drop off.
I mean, Kobe Turner 3.
Yeah, it's Kobe Turner or Collins. Like, those are the two. Or do you put the rookie Byron Murphy? He hadn't played yet. So
I'm not putting any rookies in there.
I didn't put any rookies at starters in any of this.
I don't think any rookies belong in that category as of yet. But he can be that guy. Like, he can be. But
yeah,
I think it's either going to be Kobe Turner You went Zaven Collins from Arizona?
I put him outside. No.
Oh,
No,
okay. My
Malik
bad.
Collins
Oh,
for the
Malik
49ers.
Collins. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
bad. I heard Collins and I thought him. Yeah, like it,
Draymond
ah,
Jones kind of in there. He's a tweener too. Like they're freaking stacked, man.
you said
They're
it was a drop off, but I think Kobe Turner is my number 3. I think my top 3: Leonard Williams, Javon Hargrave, Kobe Turner.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I like that. So let's start at the bottom, work to the top. Who's the number 4 defensive tackle class or team in the NFC West? Who's 4th for you?
And that's where you go Malik Collins. I think that's where he comes back in
Yeah.
and he takes that. So he could tweeter between 3rd and 4th, but I think
I think so.
he goes 4 for me.
I like it. All right. Now you said you had Seattle 1 overall.
I
have
do.
Seattle 1 overall. I wanted to start at the bottom, go to the top, but this is just too easy. Like they're too damn good. I think this is a top 3, top 4 defensive tackle class, probably in the NFL. There's just depth. There's top end talent. There's youth. There's draft pick status. There's depth. They've whatever. I hate Seattle, but they're not going to be well ranked in a lot of these. This is it. Wide receivers and
Right.
defensive tackles. That's what Seattle's got. Okay, so let's go 4. Who's last? And we'll kind of work up from there. Who's number 4 for you?
So I think Arizona is number 4. I think they have too much youth and too many unproven players. And so for me, they're number 4. Super simple, no need for explanation, but youth and talent and that is what keeps them 4.
Yeah, I've got them a wide distant 4th from the next 2 teams. So we got the 49ers and the Rams left. Who's your number 3 team?
It's the Los Angeles Rams because again, they lost. Like they would have been number 2 or number 1 for me with Aaron Donald. Once they lost Aaron Donald, I think they take a big step back up front. Now they do have some players there that can, kind of withstand that defensive front, but you got some rookies that are going to be coming in there. Can Braden Fisk be this? Can, these guys be that? And we don't know yet. I think Braden Fisk has one of the greatest jump offs, you know what I'm saying, in football. In college, he did. We'll see what happens in the pros, right? They get off, right? And so we'll see what happens, but I have them 3. I really think the Niners at 2 are going to be totally different up front. And it's weird because they're missing Eric Armstead, but, availability is your best ability, and I don't think they were ever cohesive enough up front because Eric Armstead's injuries. I think they got younger, I think they got stronger, I think they got quicker, and I think they got more healthier, right? Up front. And I think that was key for the 49ers.
Yeah, you talk about Hargrave and Collins. They play a lot of snaps. Kevin Givens plays a lot. Jordan Elliott plays a lot. Pharrell, he says, any word on Evan Anderson, our 350-pound to 315-pound defensive tackle? They paid him a lot of money. I mean, he's guaranteed practice squad. They basically guaranteed his entire practice squad salary. But if they cut him, somebody else likely to pick him up, which we've seen. I really hope. Now, what Evan Anderson has to do to make this team, do the 49ers keep 5 or 6? You got to beat out Kalia Davis. You got to beat out T.Y. McGill. You could do that. You're on this roster. If he can't, we'll see where he fits. But I'm excited about that dude. I'm really excited about that dude.
You got him as your dark horse. I have him finding. You said practice squad. I think he finds a way to slip on this roster.
So.
It's
not going to take much. You talk one injury to a top 4 guy, and he's
I
in.
mean, well, I know we're not talking about this today, but when training camp happens and you look at the depth, and I'm saying to myself, can he beat out Kalia Davis? I say yes. Like, that's me. That's my thought. I watch him play. I think he can beat out Kalia Davis, and Kalia Davis is returning from an injury. Not a shot at him, but that's what you got to look at. For me, so there's a possibility, and there's some other guys I think that he can come up with. It all comes down to the camp. Shaquille Brown, T.Y. McGill. Those are guys you put on your practice squad. Why? They're veterans, right? And so you stash them because of the rules. You can put 7 veterans on your practice squad, 10 other players, right? So
Yeah.
that's what it is, right? So I'm already looking. I'm already understanding what the Niners and Kyle Shanahan likes to do. And I'm saying T.Y. McGill will be a vet on practice squad. Shaquille Brown will be a vet on practice squad. And these are some of the guys that I think, this will boost up Evan Anderson. Maybe Jordan Elliott doesn't even, and that's the free agent that we signed. So we'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be a lot.
I like it. All right, before we jump over to the edge class, you want to go to the game? You want to go to the Monday Night Football home opener? Well, we're giving away 2 tickets. Club level seats between the 20s. All you got to do is head over to the 49ersrush.com. Click on the button up top. It's $20 per entry or 3 entries for $50. Depending on how many we get and all that stuff, that will upgrade the tickets and all that fun stuff. We did the Super Bowl giveaway, which was so fun last year. We've done tickets in the past. Whatever we can do to create some type of experience for fans. So if you want to check that out, the49ersrush.com, go put in your entries there. We'll announce the winner 3 weeks before the game so we can transfer tickets over and all that fun stuff.